right. Yeah, she's alive. Hi, Leah. Thank you for that. Just wait a minute or two for people to come on. I got a screenshot of my head in here. Hi. This. Yeah. So welcome. Make sure that you have an area that you can move. You don't necessarily need a mat, just somewhere that's non-slip. Get some books or blocks. Strap. We were going to use it yesterday, but we didn't, so we are going to use it today. And we'll start laying down. Let's start. We'll get straight into it. If you're on Instagram and something happens, come over to YouTube. It's MJ Travers on YouTube. YouTube for Americans. So we'll start lying on our back and lie down with the legs wide apart from one another, maybe just a little wider or at the width of the mat. Then bring the hands onto the belly. Have it so that the fingertips are touching and the elbows are resting on the ground. And then as you breathe in so much and make sure that the hands are below the navel. So the belly button, have the hands just below it. You're going to breathe into the hands. So as you breathe in, the hands will expand apart. And as you exhale, the hands come back together so the fingertips touch again. Close your eyes as you lay here. Breathing in, filling up fully. Let the fingertips expand apart from one another. And the exhale, the hands move back in as the navel drops down, the low back lifts up, everything cinches in towards the spine. As you continue, inhale, expand, let the fingers move apart. And exhale, as you exhale, the hands move back towards one another. Continue that breath so deep, all the way down into the very low abdomen, the area just above the pelvis. So the hands continue to move as you breathe, as you lay here. If you need the soles of the feet flat to the ground because it might be uncomfortable on your lower back, you can bring the feet flat and the knees. Keep breathing in and out. The back of the head get nice and heavy. Shoulders rest back. As you lay here with the eyes closed, notice what you hear, any sounds around you. Notice any sensations that stand out in the body. Anything that's intense or maybe something that's really comfortable. And then notice how the breath is moving in and out. You're breathing through the nose or otherwise. Is it easy? Is it easy to focus on? Noticing it, being aware of it all the way to the top of the inhale. And then same thing to the bottom of the exhale. As you continue to lay here, again, observe if any feelings begin to come up. If there is anything or any emotions that you notice, step back and just take a look at them, what they are. We'll take a few more breaths here before we start to move, but just continue to breathe slowly in and out. So again, fingers expand as you breathe in. Fingers come back in towards one another as you breathe out. Take 4 more. Still observing, just noticing everything that comes and goes. Everything that I just went through before that you hear. There's a taste in the mouth, maybe a smell that stands out. Take 3 more breaths. How each of the breath feels. If anything comes to mind, any thoughts, emotions, or anything else comes up, what you feel, notice it. Take 1 more full deep inhale breath. And a full exhale. And then walk the soles of the feet flat to the ground with the knees bent. As the feet walk wide, bring the knees to rest together. You might need to bring the feet closer to the glutes or further away. And then we'll bring the arms out to a goalpost position with the palms facing up. The elbows come out in line with the shoulders. If the hands don't rest on the ground, open the hands out just a little bit wider then. You can always put props under the arms as well, maybe a blanket or a towel, whatever does work for you. As you lay here, just notice the pelvis, have it nice and even left and right side. Also with the feet, put the weights evenly in the feet, distributed left and right. You're not pressing or the legs aren't leaning more to the left or the right. If the knees don't touch comfortably, just let them rest as close to one another as possible. As you take an inhale breath, we did this a little bit yesterday. Bring the fingers to point up towards the sky. Get the elbows on the ground. On the exhale, the hands come forwards. Maybe they touch the ground, maybe they don't. You can always widen them if you need. Inhale, hands come back up to the sky. Exhale, hands come back behind you. We'll just do this a couple of times today. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, hand forwards. Inhale, lift it up to the sky. Exhale, bring it back behind you. Pull the front of the ribs forwards and down. One last time. Inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, hands forwards. Inhale, lift the fingers to the sky. Exhale, hands back. And now lift the arms straight up towards the sky. Let's cross the right arm underneath the left and bring the fingers onto the shoulders. If you have an eagle bind, you're welcome to take the full bind by crossing the wrists and maybe hooking the thumbs or the palms, the fingers. If it's comfortable, walk the feet just a little bit wider from one another. Now keep the ribs pulling down, push the hands back behind the head, pull the front ribs down to the hips, and then pull the elbows down into the chest, pull the shoulders back towards the ground though, spreading the collarbones wide. Whichever hand position you have. Again, elbows lift up towards the head, pull the ribs forwards. Exhale, elbows pull down, pull the shoulders back, collarbones wide. One last time, elbows lift up, elbows come down. Release the arms, lift the hands back up to the sky. And let's cross the opposite arm underneath. So, depending on whatever you had just then, cross the opposite arm underneath, hands to the shoulders, or you'll take the full bind again, maybe crossing the wrists, hooking the thumbs and fingers. The same thing, elbows back. So think of the hands moving past, or the elbows moving back towards the forehead, pull the ribs down. And then pull the elbows down, keep the shoulders pulling back, collarbones pull wide. 2 more times. Hands back or elbows back, ribs forwards and down. Elbows down, shoulders back. One last time, hands back, pull the ribs in. Elbows down, shoulders back. Release the hands, lift them up towards the sky. And then release the arms down by your side. Bring the feet to a hip-width position. Inhale, bridge pose. Lift the pelvis up, only going up as high as you need to. It doesn't have to be high. Exhale, slowly lower down the spine, then the pelvis to the ground. Again, inhale, slowly articulate up. Lift the chin slightly, just keep the weight in the back of the skull. And exhale, slowly lower back down. Inhale as you again lift up. Exhale as you slowly articulate down. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, slowly lift up. Exhale, slowly roll down. Last one, articulate the spine up. Feel the shoulder blades push up, triceps back. Exhale, slowly lower down. Cross your right ankle on your left thigh, flex the toes. Keep the left foot on the ground, just for now. If you have a long enough right arm, you'll press it into the right thigh. If you need to extend the length of the arm, grab your block or something else that can be between the hand and the leg. You might lean a little more to the right or to the left. Just notice the sensations. Right toes stay flexed towards the shin. And then come back to the center. So think of the pelvis pressing down. The toes stay flexed to the shin. Start to hug your butt cheeks in. Bring the arms down the side, your palms press. Inhale, figure four bridge. So again, only come up as high as it's comfortable. Exhale, slowly lower the spine, then the pelvis down. You need the hands on the hips once you get to the top to see if it's even. You can. Inhale, slowly lift up. You can always look up and just notice where the pelvis is, if it's tipped. Exhale, slowly bring everything back down. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, slowly lift up. Again, doesn't have to be high to be effective. Exhale, slowly lower down. Think of the right knee pushing away from you. Use the right glute. Last one. Inhale, slowly lift up. Figure four bridge. Exhale, slowly roll back down. Release the right foot to the ground. Cross the left ankle on the right thigh. Flex the toes towards the shin. Again, you can stay right here and maybe gently move. You might gently press the left hand into the inner left thigh, leaning a little more to the left or to the right. Just notice what you're feeling when you do move. Always moving slightly slowly, just so you're not skipping or rushing past anything, and you can really pay attention to what's going on. Take another full breath in. Come back to the center on the exhale. Bring the hands down by the side again. Keep the toes flexing. Inhale, figure four bridge. Left knee pulls to the left. Your glutes are working. Exhale, slowly bring it back down. Again, squeeze your butt in and up. Inhale, lift up. Press into the big toe mound, baby toe mound. Exhale, slowly lower down. The right foot also press into the right heel. Inhale, slowly lift up. Just 2 more times. You're going as high as you need to. Exhale, slowly lower back down. One last time. Inhale, slowly lift up. And exhale, slowly lower back down. Release the left foot to the ground. Walk the feet wide and bring the arms again either out wide to a T or a goalpost position. And we'll let the knees drop to the left-hand side. Stay here, lift the left foot off the ground. And then place the left foot on top of the right thigh. If that's not in your practice, just keep the left foot on the ground. Inhale, lift the left foot back up. Exhale, place the foot back to the ground. Inhale, bring the knees to the center. And then exhale, knees drop to the right. So the legs are wide and staggered. Either stay right here or inhale, lift the right foot. And then exhale, right ankle on top of left thigh. Think of coaxing the inner left thigh down. Inhale, lift the right foot back up. Exhale, release the foot to the ground. Inhale, knees through the center. Exhale, knees drop left. Slowly moving side to side. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back up through the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, lift through the center. Exhale to the right. Once more each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. And if you breathe faster or slower than me, that's fine. Inhale, center. You just move to your body. Exhale, right. Working towards balance and evenness. Inhale, come back to the center and hug the knees to the chest. Take a little rock side to side. And then pull the knees out wide. You can either hold the top of the knees or the back. Pulling the knees towards the underarms. Think of pushing the pelvis forwards and down. Keeping the pelvis, the head, shoulders, the length of the spine. Not always touching the ground, but towards the ground. Still keeping it nice and neutral. You need to move a little bit. You can rock side to side. You can pivot on the pelvis, lifting one side up or the other side up. Take another full breath in. And then hug the knees back into the chest. We'll start to rock side to side. It might be really small at first. Let that start to increase. Start to rock all the way onto one side and then all the way onto the other side. A couple more times. And roll all the way over onto whichever side you choose. Press yourself up. We'll come to a tabletop position on our hands and knees. So if you need to pad the knees, you can put a blanket or a towel down or something to make it a little more comfortable. A couple of options as well is to tuck the toes forwards or untuck the toes. It might feel better one way for your feet, for your ankles. So from here, I want you to widen the knees and we're going to bring the big toes together and sit back onto the heels. You might need to use your blocks here depending on the length of your arms, but we'll put the hands onto the blocks or onto the ground. Make sure your bum is pressing down onto something. So if it's not on your heels, if you sit and it's quite intense, sit up on a pillow, get a blanket, get something that's going to help this to be where your pelvis is grounded, so it's not just hanging in space, but you're comfortable as well. So with the hands pressing down, we're leaning just slightly forwards. We're only moving the upper spine. So think of segmenting it out. We're blocking the pelvis out and down, keeping that stable. On the inhale, we'll lift the chest up, pull it through the biceps. On the exhale, keep the pelvis as it is, dome the upper spine only. Inhale, pull the chest forwards, keep the pelvis pressing down. On the exhale, push the upper spine back behind you, keep the pelvis pressing down onto the heels or your prop. Again, pull the chest forwards and up. On the exhale, dome the spine. Once more, lift the chest. And exhale as you round. And then let's come up onto our hands and knees. We're going to bring our forearms down onto the ground. There's a couple of options for this. I'll get my hair out of the way so we can see what's going on. So our forearms come down onto the ground. From here, you will either interlace the fingers and keep your head where it is, or you'll bring the back of your head down into your hands. Same thing as I was suggesting before, toes tucked or untucked. So think of this just being the bottom spine. So we're just keeping the rest of the spine locked out. So here, I want you to tilt the tailbone up. It might not move very far, that's okay. And then on the exhale, I want you to pull the back of the pelvis down to the back of the knees. Again, pull the tailbone up. And then dome, just like cat, but it's only the low spine, maybe moving a tiny little bit. Again, lift the hamstrings, cow of just the low spine, and then cat of just the low spine. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Once more, inhale, cow. Pull the tailbone up. And exhale, dome for cat. Then slowly bring yourself up into hands and knees. So I'll put it all together now. So think of the spine, if you can, of it moving as a segment, each vertebrae moving one at a time. So it's not moving as a whole block. So here, inhale for cow. So think of tilting the tailbone up. The middle of the spine starts to drop down. The front of the spine through the chest pulls through the biceps, maybe the chin lifts. And then starting from the pelvis again, tuck the tailbone first, move up the spine, up through the middle, through the shoulder blades, chin comes into chest last. Again, start at the tailbone, flip the tailbone up, Moving all the way up the spine, chest pulls forwards, head lifts. And then again, start at the tailbone. Dome the spine, move up, feel each area move one at a time until the chin comes into the chest. Lift the tailbone, start to, excuse me, lift the front of the spine forwards and up. And then slowly moving into spinal flexion. Take your time through it. Again, spinal extension, start at the pelvis. Then again, start at the pelvis once more. Do 2 more. Slowly inhale, start at the pelvis, take your time. Again, start at the pelvis, move up the spine. 1 more. Lift the hamstrings. And last one, tuck the tailbone back. And now let's come into a tabletop position with a neutral spine. Extend the right leg back behind you, keep the toes on the ground, tuck forwards, and just start to move around a little bit, pressing the heel back behind you so you feel a little bit of length through the back of the calf, maybe through the knee. You can move around here, you can stay still, you can take big circles with the body, you can pivot to the outer foot, the inner foot, whatever feels good for you. Take another full breath in. Let's move into a modified side plank. Pivot the left foot out to the side. You tuck the toes for more stability. Right foot comes in line with the left knee. Right hand lifts up to the sky. Now pull the shoulder blades back behind you. If you need, you can bend the left elbow a little bit. Think of rotating the left or pulling the left shoulder blade down towards the right glute as you pull the left glute to the right heel. Inhale, lift the right arm over your ear. Exhale, bring the right hand up and back to the right thigh. Go, inhale, lift it up, over the ear. Exhale, bring it up to the thigh. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift the arm up and over the ear. Exhale, bring it back down to the thigh. This time a little different. Inhale, lift it up, keep it over the ear. Press into the outer right foot so you get a really nice stretch. You might need to push the hand a little further past the head. Push the outer right foot to the ground. Take another full breath in. And then pivot back to a tabletop position, hands and knees. And now extend the left foot back behind you. Toes are tucked forwards. Again, same thing. You might just stay. Maybe take a little bit of movement. Pivot the foot in and out. Move the body. What does this side need? It might be completely different to the previous side. Take another full breath in. Let's move into the modified side plank. Pivot the right toes out to the side. Get the right hand, right knee, left foot all in one line. Always tuck the right toes for support. Left arm to the sky. Shoulder blades pull back. Again, that same option to bend the right elbow just a little bit. Think you're really hugging in at the tricep area. Pressing the outer left foot down. Rotate your right glute to your left heel. And then start to pull the front ribs down, chest to the sky. So many things. Inhale, reach the left arm over your ear. Keep the right shoulder blade pulling back. Exhale, hand comes up and back to the left thigh. Again, left arm lifts up and over the ear. Exhale, hand back to the thigh. Slowly inhale, lift it up and over. Exhale, back to the thigh. This time, inhale, lift it up and over. Keep it reaching past the ear. Press the outer left foot down. And then really feel the stretch wherever you feel it, wherever you need it to be. Take another full breath in. And exhale back to a tabletop position. Bring the big toes to touch again. Knees are out wide. Bring yourself back to a child's pose, hips to heels. Same option if you need to sit on something to support the pelvis, if this is intense on the knees, blankets under the knees, whatever you might need for support. Maybe a prop under the chest or one under the forehead. Breathing here again through the nose. Remember when we had our hands on our stomach? I want you to think of breathing into that area again, letting it expand fully. The stomach expands and moves outwards towards the inner thighs. And if you're really tight today, you can open the knees a little wider than normal. Full breath in. Let's walk our hands over to the left-hand side. As far as the hands can go, it's comfortable for you. The torso might come over the thigh. Hands might come off the mat if you're using a mat. You can move around here, maybe stack one hand on top. You can rotate the chest up. You can thread an arm. You can bind an arm. Press the right hip back and down towards the right heel. Take a full breath in. And then slowly bring the hands all the way over to the right side. The torso comes to the right as well. Do what you need to do on this side to balance the opposite side. It might be something different, it might be the same. Noticing where the sensations are. What's going on this side of the body for you? Another full breath in. And then slowly bring the hands back to the center. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Let's take the props with us and lower down onto our back again. So we've got the blocks, or if you don't have blocks, have your pillows or cushions or books. You have books instead. Make sure that they're easy to grab, that they're not too far away. Bring the feet flat to the ground. Inhale, lift the pelvis up. We'll grab either one or two blocks. If you have blocks, put it under the back of the pelvis at the sacrum. If you have cushions, use that instead. It's a little bit softer, it might be more comfortable for you. Or you can have a blanket there. As you inhale, bring the left knee into the chest, extend the right leg long, point the right toes away from you. Option to pull the left knee out to the left underarm. You can always reach the right arm back behind you as well. Feeling and allowing the space through the front right side. Another full breath. And slowly swap it over. Bring the right leg in. If you did interlace the fingers, take the awkward grip around the right knee or shin or hamstring. Left leg extends, left toes point. Keep the right knee where it is, maybe pull it out to the side. Same option to reach the left arm back behind you. A slightly deeper stretch down the front left side. Take two more breaths. One more full inhale. And then slowly release. Lift both feet straight up to the sky. You can have the feet together, feet slightly apart, about hip width. You might need to support the legs with your hands if you have accessibility. Push the heels up to the sky, flex the toes into the face, and notice if it naturally the foot wants to roll in or out. You might need to work a little harder, pulling the lateral side, the lateral edge, which is the baby toe side, the medial side, in a little bit more than the other. Just notice, how about as if the feet are standing on the ceiling? You push up through the ball point, up through the heels. Pull the toes slightly to the face. Take an inhale breath. And then bend the knees, bring them towards the underarms. If your prop's too high, turn it down lower, choose something different or remove it altogether. You might need to use your hands here. You can keep the knees bent or you can straighten the legs, opening them out nice and wide. Keep the pelvis, the sacrum pressing down on your prop so you're supported. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And you can either bend the knees or straighten them here. Inhale, bring the legs back to the center. On the exhale, bend the knees, bring the feet to the ground. And we'll stay here in a supported bridge as our resting pose. You can stay right here. You can change the position of the legs, feet together, knees wide, feet wide, knees together. Maybe the legs extended, you can have them wide or one leg forwards at a time if that feels better for the body. Hands either on the body, if you have a bolster, on the bolster, out wide or back behind you. Just make sure that the upper neck is not compressed or pressing into the ground at all. It's not flat. As we breathe here, close your eyes. If you have a blanket handy, you're welcome to put that over the abdomen or the thighs. As you close the eyes, that same breath. So think of breathing down into that low abdomen area that we were breathing before. Imagine where your hands were, that's where the breath is going. Slowly in and out. As you allow yourself to surrender here. Notice when the mind starts to wander. Start to let it settle down into where the body is. Mind and body together here as one. Deep, slow breaths. The jaw relax, the face. The arms and legs be nice and easy. And just notice anything that stands out for you, anything in the way of sensations, anything in the way of thoughts, emotions and feelings. As you are aware of here and now, I highly suggest turning this off and just allowing yourself to be. If you'd like to continue with your day, if you still have your prop under your sacrum, bring the feet flat to the ground, lift the hips, remove the prop, and lower the pelvis back down to the ground. You can hug the knees to the chest, maybe roll side to side, stretch out, and then bring yourself up to a seated position that's comfortable. Have the eyes open or closed, the hands on the legs, lap, heart, whatever feels comfortable for you. Thank yourself for taking this 30 minutes to slow down, to breathe, to move, to connect, to become aware, really increasing our present time awareness. So thank you guys. Thumbs to the third eye. Let's bow in that gratitude. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Have an awesome rest of your day, guys. I will see you soon. Next class is 5 o'clock. Owen and I are going to be teaching it, so it's going to be part, again, come and challenge yourself. Just come. 5 o'clock. YouTube or Instagram. See you guys.